Yo, what's poppin' YouTube? We are back again with another episode of We Got That Smoke with none other than Minister Louis Farrakhan. We'll be back, you all. Enjoy.
They are hot with me. But I have to tell the truth. Right now in Las Vegas, 103,000 black people live in Las Vegas. 25,000 blacks live on the west side, predominantly black community. But 40% of the blacks in Las Vegas are unemployed. 60% of the black youth from 16 to 25 are unemployed. Nobody cares if we have no jobs. We can't make a future for ourselves. Nature makes us gravitate toward the female and makes her gravitate toward us. We can't control that. That's nature. Nature makes us fall in love. We can't control that. That is God's doing. And when people say they love each other and come into close contact with each other, relationships begin, and from that comes the procreation of human life. We can't help that. But the sad thing is that even though we are driven by nature's law to meet and love and cohabit one with another and to produce new human life, we don't have the wherewithal mentally, nor the education necessary, nor the jobs available to allow us as black men to take care of what we bring into the world. So the black man is under an extraordinary amount of stress. We are dying from stress and stroke, high blood pressure. We are so filled with confusion and doubt of self that we become drunkards, and nobody closes the liquor stores in our community. They proliferate, so we are steadily drunk, dying because we're drowning our sorrows in alcohol, dying because we're drowning our sorrows in reefer, dying because we're drowning our sorrows in crack cocaine, dying because we do not know who we are, what our capacity is, what our gifts are, the opportunities, even if white folk don't make them for us, that there is the possibility of our creating opportunity for ourselves if leadership would show us the way. But the same government that sends our sons and daughters to die, that same government plans and plots against our leadership. You know, the head of the sperm carries the potential development of that human being. The tail of the sperm gives it mobility, so that when it is cast into the hostile environment of the vaginal tract, that sperm may be able to swim toward the egg, that it may start life. God allows the sperm to meet with ovum in a dark place, and the first cell of life is created. of life is created, a tiny drop of blood is formed, and it begins to spin in the darkness of the womb, even as the planets spin in submission to the light of the sun. As that tiny drop of blood begins to rotate in the darkness of the womb, because in the darkness of the womb and in the cell at the nucleus, there is the presence of light. Letting us know that no matter how dark the situation is, there's always light in the darkness. If we would not despair and give up hope that there is light there, if you can find the light and bring light up out of darkness. When the cells begin to multiply, the first thing that is formed is the head. Because until the head is formed, the arms and the legs cannot be called into existence. So the first thing that forms in the darkness of the womb is the head, and it is the head that calls the other members of the body into existence. And so it is that you are born with a head to see for the body, hear for the body, smell for the body, chew for the body, speak for the body, think for the body. And the body is grateful when you got a good head on your body. So it is with a people. It is God who gives you this head. It is God who gives the sperm its head. It is God who gives to people their leadership, true leadership. Are you listening? Yes, sir. Now, I want to make a point. If an enemy wants to keep you from developing as a people, they must keep true leadership from you. Once the true leader is born, he calls into existence the arms and the legs. He organizes his people, and they become a people. And this is why in the book called Genesis, excuse me, I'm getting excited. The book called Genesis, which is called one of the first of the 5 books of Moses. Why would you call it one of the first books of Moses when Moses wasn't around in the Genesis? But Moses was talking to people about the Genesis. Listen good now. Moses was dealing with an enslaved people, and he was telling them, in the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth was without face of the deep, but the Spirit of God moved upon the face of the waters, and God said, "Let there be light." And there was light. Why, Moses, would you start off with the Genesis with your people? Because no people that are not free have begun yet. You do not begin your journey to life enslaved. You begin it when you become free. And in the word Genesis is the word genes. Gene. And in the genes is the coding of the human being. Its sickness, its health, its wealth is locked up in the genes. God is saying to Moses and through Moses to an enslaved people, look, slave, in the beginning, God created heaven and earth. That as you have a heaven above and an earth beneath, you have a relationship between heaven and earth. Otherwise, nothing can be produced without that relationship. It is the sun and the moon that draw the water up from the surface of the earth. Without the sun and the moon, the waters could not be drawn up into the earth's rotation, which is called gravitation. In a fine mist that the naked eye can hardly detect, forming what you call clouds. And when winds blow the clouds, they come over a dry, dead earth. And when the cloud is filled with water heavier than gravitation, the cloud distills the water back to the earth, and the water from the cloud touches the seed in the earth, and the sunlight strikes the earth, germinating the seed in the earth, and then the seed swells and bursts, sending a root down and then a shoot up. But if heaven didn't work together with earth, we could never have come up out of the earth. We could never feed our bodies to stay alive on the earth. But it is heaven and earth working together that produces what we call the quality of life.